Here is a question, and this question is under complex number. So now let's have a see. So now we have four questions. Like it's a one question, but we have to solve four from the one question. The first one says number one says A plus B plus C. That's we plus this one plus this one and plus this one. Then the number two said A, then in bracket B minus C, close the bracket. So that means this one, this one will minus this one, then you will use this one again and times what it minus. So now we'll come to number three, which is A times B, then divide by what? C. Then we will now come to the one of 4A minus 6C. So now let's solve it and see how it will be. Solution. Solution. So now let's start with number one. This one, number one. Okay, let me draw a line, please. So number one, number one, we have A. So now instead of me to write A, I'll be putting the figures that represent A. So now A is what? 3 plus 2I. Then plus then B have 5 minus 5I. Then plus C plus. So now we said plus we have C, which is minus 2 plus 6I. So now we said we'll now plus it. So it's equals to bring out 3 plus 2I plus 5 minus 5I plus. So now when you check, you will see that this minus will multiply with this plus. And this minus times plus, it will be what? It will be minus. So it will be what? Minus 2, then plus 6I. Sorry, here is I. So now, when I say it's equals to, so we'll collect the like terms. This one and this one and this one, they are like term. So we have 3 plus 5 plus, minus 2. Then we'll now pick plus 2I minus 5I plus 6I. So in total, you now said 3 plus 5 is 8 minus 2 is 6. So you will now have 6. So you now say 2I minus 5 is minus 3 plus 6 is plus 3I. So simple, Abi. That is your answer. Number 2, we have A, this one, 3 plus 2I, all in bracket. Pardon me to use the symbol. So now, because there will be other bracket inside, that's why I use the symbol. So we have B minus C, so we have 5 minus I bracket minus 2 plus 6I, all in bracket. So now let's deal with this one first before joining with this one. So now when we'll deal with this one, we'll have is equals to, let me write it first, all in bracket. Then when you come to this one, on our side, let me bring everything out, minus. So it will be plus because minus times minus will be plus. So we write 2, then minus 6I, because when you times this one will give you minus. So now, instead of me putting this symbol, I will put this one, sorry. So now, it will now be equals to 3 plus 2I, all in bracket. Then we'll now have, so we'll now collect like the light time for here. So we have open bracket. 5 plus 2 is 7. So I have minus 5I minus 6I. will now be minus 11i, all in bracket. So now multiply this 3 times 7, so is equals to 3 times 7, we have 21. Have it? Yeah. 3 times 11i, we have minus 33i. So I'm done with this phrase. So let me go back to this 2i. 2i times uh, 7, we have plus, since it is this 7 is plus and this one too is plus, so we'll make use of the plus. That plus 14i. So now when you come to 2i times minus 11i, so it will now be minus 22. So now since the I are 2, it will be what? I square. The square will, you see the rough, this one I here and I here, it will be what? I square. So now when I say is equals to, so now let me eliminate everything. You know that I, you know that I is when you say I is equals to root minus 1. So now when it comes to I square, it will be what? Minus 1. So now this one I mean minus 1. So now we will have let me bring it out. Let me see. I have 21. This one 33i plus this minus 33i plus 14i. It will be what? It will be minus 19i. So now this one will multiply minus 20 minus 22 times minus 1 will give you plus 22. So now we collect the like terms. So this one will be 43. Half what? 43 minus 19i. 43 minus 19i. So now we have number 3. We have a, which we have 3 plus 2i times 5 minus 5i, all over minus 2 plus 6i. Now this one we use the rationalize method. So we rationalize like this. This one is plus, we use minus, minus is I all over minus 2 minus is I. So within now we can now multiply it to see what we will get. So now said well, let me finish, let me do this one first before we can do this rationalize. Let's do this first one. We have 3, sorry 3 times 5 is 15. 3 minus 3 times minus 5i is minus 15i. 2i 2i times 5 is plus 10i. 2i times minus 5i is minus 10i squared, because this one have I, this one have I. So will now be equals to, so now since I will use that method, I will use that minus 1, because I squared is equal to minus 1. So now minus 1 times minus 10. So the minus will cancel, minus will be plus 10. So now we'll now set 15 plus 10 plus this 10, then minus 15i plus 10i, it will give you 5 minus 5i. So now I have minus 5i. So 15 plus 10 will give you 25 minus 5i. So now the whole of it of this one is 25 minus 5i. So that's what I will use. I will use come down here, we use 25 minus 5i, because the whole of this, when I expand it, it give me 25 minus 5i. So all over minus 2 plus 6i times minus 2 minus 6i all over minus 2 minus 6i. So now I can multiply it. So now let me start from the up. So we said 25 times minus 2. 25, this 25 times minus 2, it will give us minus 50. It will give us minus 50. So now 25 times minus 6i will now be minus 150i. Well, since the space will not do for here, let me use this place, this size. So now we'll have minus 50 minus 150i. So now we'll come back to this one. So minus 5i times minus 2, it will now give us plus, since this minus times minus will be plus, so it will now be plus 10i. Plus 10i. So minus 5i times minus 6i. Sorry, here is I. It will be plus 30 plus 30i squared. Oh, sorry. There is no enough space here. Let me arrange it well. It will now be minus 50 minus 150i plus 10i plus 30i squared. This square is for the I. So now let me come down here. Minus 2 times minus 2 will be 4. Minus 2 times minus 6i, it will now be plus 12i. 6i times minus 2 will now be minus 12i. 6i times minus 6i will now be minus 36. That is I squared. This square is for the I. So now let's break it down and see. So when I said let's collect like times. So now when you carry this I square is minus 1. So minus 1 times 30 will not be 1 minus 30. So now have minus 50 minus 30. So now minus 150i plus 10i, it will not be minus 140i. So all over. So now this one will eliminate because 12i minus 12i, it will go. So we'll have 4 minus. So now this I is minus 1. This I square is minus 1. I square minus, which is minus 1. So you will not times it with this 36, with this minus 36. It will give you plus 36. So we now have is equals to minus 50 minus 30 will now be minus 80 minus 140i all over 40. So now 20 here 2, 20 here 4, 20 here 7. So we now have is equals to minus 4 all over 2 minus 7 all over 2i. So here now it will now be equals to minus 2 minus 3.5i. Or let me write it down here, minus 2 minus 3.5i. So that is the answer to number 4. Number 4 will now have 4 open bracket 3 plus 2i, because this a represent this one, then minus 6 open bracket minus 2 plus 6i, because the c also represent this one, so we will now multiply. We now have 12 plus 8i minus 6 times minus 2 will now be plus 12 minus 36i. So now you now collect like times 12 plus 12, we have now have 24. 24 plus 8i. 8i minus 36i, it will now be minus 28i. Very simple as that. Thank you for watching, and please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.